All right, welcome to SC Custom Designs. It is Friday, my friends, and it's time to do a video. So this is a rather odd video, but then again, I'm kind of odd, but I'm creative. Okay, so we're going to talk about clamps. I've done episodes on clamps before, but look at all these clamps here. So you can tell I just got done with a project. Basically, all these clamps were to hold on these corner pieces down here on this frame here. This frame here is going to hold a 66-pound glass sign, which is over here. Please follow the series on creating a really cool office table. I spoke to the customer today and kind of promised them that I would have it done by Christmas. And we are in October 17th. So it may sound like a lot of time, but it's not a lot of time for me, but I'm going to really try to get that done. So we're going to talk about clamps. It's funny, I went to, I researched on Lowe's locally to see if they have a panel bit, because I have to make raised panels. And out of these guys here, these are two pieces of wood, oak, that I joined up with a biscuit joiner. Look that episode up, look everything up. So these guys are, look about a 1/2 inch wide. And they're all planed and ready to go. And well, I want to put a panel around the outside. So I went ahead and I ordered from Rockler. I ordered a lot of stuff from Rockler. If you can see behind me, I have Rockler products behind me. Hoping to get sponsored by Rockler at some point. And so basically what I ordered was a cutter. So it's called a Rockler back cutter router. And so it's really a plain bit. Comes in at around $50, $49.99. Plus, of course, I had to rush it on, 3 days at least. And so that bit is going to just simply give me what I want. I wasn't looking for anything fancy. And so there you go. When I started looking at the prices and how they vary from each other, they were going to 100 and twice that amount, 3 times that amount. It all depends. So you get what you pay for, that's for sure. So essentially, I went then to Home Depot to see if they had, because the site said they had these router bits. Well, they didn't. So I couldn't leave getting nothing. So I got 2 more clamps. And he who says, or she who says, you got enough clamps, you're lying. You're never gonna have enough clamps. So at any rate, what I got was these are a first in my shop. These are, try to come close here, a DeWalt 12-inch extra large trigger clamp. All right, that's pretty cool. 600 pounds of clamping force, 3 3/4 throat depth. I'm pretty happy, and of course it converts to a spreader. A lot of your clamps are just doing that. Back in the day when I was buying clamps, originally they didn't have spreaders, that's for sure. And look how quick it is to take this off. Just push on this button here, this great button here. You're on wide, so I hope you can see this. And just basically flip it around, drop it in, and it should be good to go. So let's have a look. There we go. So now he became a spreader. All right, so that's pretty cool. All right, let's flip it around because I won't be spreading anything. I actually have windows upstairs that I had a contractor put in. They did a terrible job. Absolutely horrible. Won't tell you who they are, just because even though I'm not pleased with them, I still don't want to be mean. You know how it is. We end up doing better jobs when we do it ourselves. I put windows in myself. I put doors in myself. And they're still fine today. So anyway, what I really like about this clamp is it is very easy squeezing this this handle. Very, very easy. Okay, I like that, and I can push it as well without, and then of course pull back on the trigger here. So it's really convenient. And I read the specs on it. So let's go ahead and mount this guy into his new place. This is where I keep all my clamps. Look up my episodes on clamps. I got pipe clamps. I have an episode on that, making a pipe clamp. Sorry, I stand corrected. My subscribers tell me you didn't make a pipe clamp. You assembled a pipe clamp. That's true. You buy the clamps, and then you buy the pipe, and then you assemble it. All right, so that's those two. Then, of course, I was walking through Lowe's after church a couple weeks ago, and I was just walking down the aisle, and these guys just jumped out at me. Jorgensen. This is a 2-pack, 12-inch expandable. Basically, it's got half the clamping power, 300 pounds of clamping pressure, comfortable one-hand clamping, reversible jaw converts clamp to a spreader, and here's something new. I don't have any clamps that do this. These clamps will then connect 2 clamps with unique dovetail design. So basically, if you can look at the photo here, you're basically going to connect them right here in the middle. And now, look, you've got double the size of clamping power. That's pretty cool. I'm not aware that I have any clamps like that. And now I do. I'm sure that's going to come in handy at some point. So there you go. So what I'm going to do now is just put clamps away. And you're supposed to do this type of thing right away. You're not supposed to wait on this. Because, these types of things go away. Now that just went almost into the abyss. Your shop is going to be a horrible mess if you don't stay on top of it. Trust me, I know. I've done 2, maybe 3 shop reorgs and shop cleanups. So you know how it is. So I try not to let myself get too far behind when I'm doing this type of thing. When I'm done with the project. I'm not done with the project, but I'm done with the process. All right, so again, this is SE Custom Designs. Please subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Kind of boring, but oh well. I'm doing an episode on putting my clamps back where they belong and introducing 2 more pairs of clamps that we just put into that we're going to put into service. Okay, so, and again, these clamps in general have come a long way. I'm going to pull some clamps off, a clamp off that I got, and you'll have these hanging around your shop. This is called the Quick Grip. Okay, the Quick Grip bar clamp. And again, he doesn't flip off and become a spreader. But what I'm getting at is it doesn't have the technology. As big as these handles are, you really got to squeeze hard on this, and it's not really giving you a lot of pressure. Okay, that's not exactly a bad thing. Too much pressure can be a bad thing. Just enough pressure is really what you want. Because you put the glue in there, and if you squeeze too hard, all your glue is coming out. Your glue isn't doing you any good. So, just something you want to think about. So when I did this episode where I put these triangles onto the frame, what I did is I gave you more tips on gluing up. And each time you glue up, you're going to clamp a little different, aren't you? It all depends on the challenges that you have when you're clamping up. Sometimes there's no challenges. Sometimes there's challenges. So I'm going to do an experiment here. I know it's Friday, and y'all are probably out it's Friday, you're out there getting yourself a nice meal, spending your time with the family, whatever, but by chance, I'm going to go ahead and premiere this. And if you're available, appreciate it if you chat with me. Also, know that if you leave comments, I'll get back to you at some point. I'll get back to you. I try to stay up on that, keep up on that. Our subscription level is now at like 700. And there's a lot of you out there. But don't be discouraged, please. My current subscribers know that I'll get back to you at some point. Because I think of myself when I was first starting out. Actually, I started out in Eretz Israel, that's in Israel, and that's where I learned how to, I'm done with my clamps, except for this guy here, which I have to set free. I went to high school in Israel. I was 15 years old when I moved there, and I lived in Israel for 6 years. גרתי בארץ ישראל 6 שנים. 6 שנים או 6 שנים? 6 שנים, אני חושב. So 6 years. And I went to Chavat Hanao Tzeilani, which was an absorption center, where kids came from all over the world, and they needed a place to go to high school. And so I believe it was government funded at the time. Chavat Hanao Tzeilani is still a high school in 2019. But they have an Olympic-sized swimming pool now, I believe. They didn't have that when I went there. But thankfully they had Sirtut, which was teaching drafting, and they had the woodworking, where I learned, one of the teachers was from Russia, and the other teacher, for all intents and purposes, was Israeli born. His accent was quite Israeli. My accent, my miftah sheli, used to be very Israeli. There's a couple different ways of asking, where are you from? In Hebrew. Me'afota is like, basically, where are you from? Me'anata is where do you originate? Israelis never said me'anata, for where do you originate? That was my sign that my miftah, you didn't know you're going to get a Hebrew lesson here. I also sing in Hebrew, in English, play the guitar, keyboard. I love to sing to the Lord. I'm a worship leader. And so, there you go. You're finding out more about Steve Larkin at SC Custom Designs. We're just about finished here. I'm pretty happy. I have 4 more clamps. I'll take you out the mountain. I'll show you these clamps. And then we'll wander over to the other side of the shop. Show y'all on the big TVs. So here we go. Here are my clamps. Zoop. There's a lot of these missing. I don't know where they are, but I have enough to come down to here. But they're obviously in service somewhere. You know how it is. So, all right, so those are those clamps, and you really want to keep them where you can put them in service and out of service, okay? And so that's right behind me. I just put 2 2x4s up. The other clamps are over here. I've got clamps as tall as I am, 6 feet, pipe clamps, and then shorter pipe clamps all the way down to 4 foot, I believe. I got these wonderful, really long, strong Irwin clamps for gluing up block, that type of thing. Got another Irwin there. So there you go, clamps, clamps, clamps. And I'm saying to you, you don't have enough. You can continue to buy them. I'm telling you, the last time for my craft show that I did, we're still in 2019. I got one more craft show coming up. It's going to be in a mall. Essentially, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I was making bandsaw boxes. I didn't have enough clamps. I used them all, so I could have used more. Thanks for coming to my shop, SE Custom Designs. It's Friday, yay! Here's that Rockler back cutter router bit. That'll be coming in the next couple of days, hopefully by Tuesday. And there you go. So we'll continue the project. My next steps on creating the sign. This is the glass sign. I said that again. Creating the sign. Creating the table with the sign. We have various pieces. These are the side panels that I need the router bit for. Okay. This is a frame that's going to go underneath the table. Okay. And under that is going to go this piece. Okay. So these pieces are just hanging around in the shop, somewhat in their rough state, but certainly joined up. This has got dovetail. Look up that episode. The Lee dovetail jig is one of the best jig in the world, as far as I'm concerned. And these are more Tyson tenon. Not going anywhere. Everything is still, like I said, and it's rough, not sanded, but they're waiting to come together. The next steps are going to be, like I said, paneling, and I have to make legs for these panels to go into. So 4 legs, and so that we'll be designing that next. All right, thanks for coming to my shop. Take care. God bless. Shalom uvracha. Thanks to all my friends around the world. And take care. Stay safe in your wood shop. Bye-bye.